Right, sir. So, we were the part that you must have done your research till now about how XAT as a paper looks like, right? Out of all the sections, there's one section called as decision making. Now, according to me, this is a very beautiful section because this section puts everyone at a level playing field, irrespective of your background, what you have done till now. How does your quant look like? How does your verbal skills look like? It is a level, it puts a level playing field for all the people because it is a section that is unique to this particular exam called as that, right? Now, again, talking about what is decision making basically, it gives you a choice to get into the shoes of a manager and make real life decision making, and it again tests you on similar criterias. You'll be given caselets with multiple choice question. Again, ZAT has five options per question. Again, it is same across sections. It will require your ethical, logical, and critical thinking, right? So, we're talking about differentiating factor about how decision making is unique, right? So, no other MBA B school paper will have that section, and it is a section which you cannot, of course, ignore, right? Uh, uh, Again, historically, if we talk about, there are about 21 to 22 questions that you can expect in the decision making skill section. Um, Talking about the skills that are tested: A, ethical judgment; B, your analytical thinking; and what does your problem solving skill looks like under multiple constraints that are given to you in a caselet. Okay. um, this is a very subjective thing about how do you actually approach a caselet that is given to you in decision making. So there's something called as three W's that I like to call. Um, Once you read the caselet, while you are reading it, I want every one of you to ask these three questions before jumping onto the actual question that you are given, right? First of all, who are the stakeholders? Now, when I talk about stakeholders, it can be anything, be it human entity, be it non-human entity. Human entities, of course, would be your employees, your reportees, your manager, boss, your CEO, etc. Non-human entities can be anything on the lines of other companies, your company, even things like the environment, the people that are living near your factory, let's say, in a question. The second question would be what, right? Or the second W would be what. Now, again, while you are reading a case, ask yourself, what is the main issue that is happening, or what is the main problem that you need to tackle, right? And the third W would be why. Now, once you have identified who all are getting affected and what is the main problem that is affecting them, ask them why is the issue there at the first place, right? So this is more on the lines of root cause analysis of the particular problem. After you're done with these three W's, jump onto the question and the options, right? Uh, while you are reading the options, again, there's something that you'll hear across people, that you use elimination to narrow down to the correct answer, right? Now, elimination can include a few things. First of all, you need to exclude anything that looks way too extreme to you. Okay. Anything. Secondly, rule out unethical options at the very start. Okay. ZAT and XLRI as an institute focus a lot on ethics. So, and let's say a random question. Okay. A person is approaching you, and you need to get some work done from him or her. And one of the options is bribe the person, right? Rule out straight away without even thinking. No unethical option should even go into your consideration, right? The last thing would be prioritize solution that balance ethics and efficiency. Uh, Also, one thing that you all need to take care of is think of both the short-term consequences as well as the long-term consequences, right? Um, a few traps that you can incur while solving any decision-making question would be finding a balance between what is ideal and what is practical. Now, of course, practical will have certain degree of higher weightage attached to it. Um, this I have already covered, that you eliminate extreme and biased options, and as well as rule out unethical options. Okay, one thing that I forgot to mention: if any of you have any questions in between, feel free to stop me, cut me. Uh, if not that, you can put your questions in the chat box, and we can tackle them. Right. Um, Moving on to a few common mistakes. Again, these are all from my past experiences one can incur while attempting the decision making section, right? First thing would be over analyzing and missing the main issue. If you have covered the three W's, this should not be a very big problem for you. um, this is a section where I personally feel you should not come back to a question, right? If you are reading the question, you understand the crux of it, attempt and move on, and do not think about that question or move back to that question again. The second pitfall would be choosing emotionally appealing options again. Um, if you can recall the previous slide, we have mentioned that each option should be practical, right? Again, this is something that I already covered. One should not ignore the long-term consequences of any option that you deem fit as an answer, right? Okay. Certain tips on how you can evade these pitfalls, right? The first one would be stick to the role given. Now, it is very important to wear the hat of the person that the question wants you to be, right? Get in the shoes of the role that is mentioned. So there will be certain things that are in purview of the role that you are given, and then there will be things that are out of the purview of the role, right? So think about that. Think about what your position of power is, and again answer the questions basis that. Uh, Avoid biases. Be as neutral as possible. We as humans, of course, have a natural tendency to have our own biases, but try to avoid them to the best degree as you can. The last tip, and a very crucial tip, is the best mock for decision making would be the past year question papers, right? There will be no better mock that you can find. Again, this is a personal advice. Attempt mocks post 2017, right? So, this was the time when XLRI decided to digitize things, and therefore they started giving an official answer key for the questions that were given during the paper. Now, if you go previous to 2017, uh, you would this a funny thing that can you can incur, right? So if you go through the answer keys of multiple coachings that are available on the internet, you'll find that some of the questions have a disparity in answers given by the coaching institutes. Why does this happen? Again, because ZAT did not release an official answer key back then. Uh, this is actually funny because even the coaching institutes were not able to come to a consensus, right, on what the right answer should be. So when you think about the section, of course, you cannot get an 100% accuracy. Uh, Again, talking historically, a 55 to 60%, should land you a good percentile, well above 95 percentile. So that should be your target ideally. Um, how do you achieve that? Attempt past year question papers. Look at where your mistakes happened, right? You can go to any coaching institute's answer key, look at their explanation, and see where your thinking and their thinking diverged, right? So the main thing is to think like the paper setter. So whenever the paper setter is preparing those questions, think ki, what do they want to hear, right? Once you have that mentality ready, it should be a very, very easy thing for you all, right? It's not a tough section. It does not require any prior skill sets per se to have attempt, right? Um, any questions till now, if any of you have? I'll wait for 5 more seconds. If not, we have another element to the presentation right now.
So I have a question.
Yeah, yeah.
So as you told that we have to avoid unethical thing, but if it comes for life saving, then What should we do? Like giving bribe if someone is in hospital and you have to get there, then it will be okay or what?
Okay. Um, See, usually unethical options would be incorrect, right? You'll find an option that is fit outside the five options that you're given, right? Giving bribe is a very, very extreme thing. If you think that no other option matches, or gives you a practical solution, go ahead with that option. But uh, I don't think such scenario you'll face such scenarios in the exam. I hope that clears your doubt, Aniket.
Okay, sir.
See, again, there'll be some option or the other which is aethical. We solves the problem. Okay. This is a very rare of a rare case. At least I have not seen such a case, right, where unethical one is the best solution to the problem statement.
Okay.
Fair? Anyone else? Right. I have some previous year questions. We are going to solve them right now. Uh, okay, so I'll show you the questions. Take somewhere around 70, 80, 90 seconds to read the case. Let's go through the options. Okay, I want everyone to shoot their answers in the chat box, and then we'll have a discussion on what your answers were and what the right answer was, and where uh, um, probably you went right or wrong. Fair? Some reaction, thumbs up, anything works. Perfect. Really. So all of them are past year's ad questions. Okay. Now, I see two answers, B and C, almost equal in number, right? Um, I want someone who has voted B to unmute and give an explanation as to why you think that is the right answer.
I think like B is the correct answer because uh, so because the supervisor are direct superior to the employee, they know about whether they will know better about the whether the employee is faking the illness, and based on, like, suppose someone is ill, they show some symptoms during their office hour, so they can easily know about whether they are faking the illness, or like they are really ill. So I think based that's why I think based the right answer. And CEO has the less interaction with the employee, so there is a less chance that he will know about the illness
Okay.
of them.
Um, Ayush, three W's. Who, what, and why?
So the stakeholder is the CEO of the company,
And
and the issue is regarding whether the illness, so whether the employee is faking their illness for the leave, or like they are really ill. And the issue is arising because they are faking the illness, and it was causing the problem for the promotions.
right. So there are two issues, right? First, illness, and second, the promotion.
Yeah.
Now, option B only caters to one of the problems, right? It only caters to the leave. There is no mention of the promotion part,
Yeah.
right? So, again, it does not tackle the problem in its entirety. Okay, okay, I have some ease also. If someone,
Yeah,
yeah,
sir.
go ahead.
Yeah, you said option B doesn't tackle the problem of promotion, right? But
Option B,
it's
B.
already given in the
Hmm? Go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah.
Hmm?
It's already given in the problem statement that the supervisors are the ones that decide the promotion, right?
Right.
The six of the eight supervisors has to. So at the end of the day, the supervisors are the ones who are giving the leaves and recommending for promotion, right? So they are the ones who can decide on both these things, right?
So then, if that is your thought process, won't let status quo continue be a better option? Right now, both of the things are being handled by the supervisor, right?
Yes, but they are not taking in consideration the taking of the illness part, right? So the CEO can just intimate the supervisors about that and take that into consideration while giving recommendations for the promotion.
Okay. People with option C, what was your thought process?
So can I answer?
Yeah, yeah, sure.
So the current case scenario is that the employees are faking illness, and
Hmm.
to be promoted, the employees must fulfill two of the criteria. One is multi-skilling training program, and must be recommended by 6 supervisors. Okay.
Hmm.
So if we give the task of handling leaves to supervisors as well, then that will overburden them. Okay.
Hmm.
And if we give the task of taking care of leaves to the CEO, then that's not a wise decision, because that will be an everyday task. And CEO doesn't involve himself in a everyday task. He is concerned with higher level operations. And for lower level operations, there are supervisors. So it will be better if supervisors take care of the leaves. And promotion is a big decision. So it will be better if CEO take care of promotion himself.
Okay. Just to cut you off, the CEO is not taking the decision. The CEO office is, right? There's a very thin difference between a CEO and a CEO office. CEO is the CEO, of course. CEO office are the people who are working for the CEO, right? So there'll be middle level executives somewhere along those lines. That is what CEO office means.
So yes, sir. The CEO
Hmm?
office means middle level management. So they should be concerned more with taking higher level decisions and leave the lower level that are every day-to-day decisions to the supervisors that is deciding on leave of the employees.
Okay. I'll tell you the right answer and I'll give you the explanation. Again, the right answer is non-debatable. That is something that Zat has given. We can only form our theories as to why it was the right answer. Okay. So option D was the right answer. None of you, I don't see any D's in the chat box. Okay. So the rationale behind this was, um, first of all, promotion and training, talking about that. Okay. Um, there's no chance of biases in that. Two reasons. First of all, there is a vote of six supervisors, minimum that is needed. And secondly, supervisors would be the one who would be aware about the status of promotion and training, right? This fulfills the why supervisors would be responsible for the promotion part. Moving on to the next part, which was the illness part. Now, a very big problem over here is that employees were faking illnesses, which can also mean that there is a certain level of bias or favoritism that was happening from the supervisor side, right? Uh, Centralizing that decision onto the CEO office and leaving the promotion to the supervisors was deemed the correct option by ZAT, not by me. This was the rationale that I came behind as to why option D should be the most apt. Any questions?
So I had a question.
Yeah, yeah.
So I wanted to ask you, like, as you can see, none of us got the right answer. So it's kind of subjective, this DM thing, how XLRI is setting up. So would you suggest like to maximize our attempts in DM because the
Okay.
accuracy is going to be low?
Animesh, I wanted to talk about this. Okay.
Yeah.
So there are largely two school of thoughts that go behind how you should attempt. Uh, and again, strategy is something that will be personal to you. That is not something that you can um, make one single strategy and apply to all. So the first school of thought goes like maximize the number of attempts. Um, Try to attempt all of the questions. Okay. So try doing that. The second school of thought goes like be selective on the number of questions that you do. Okay. So again, you have somewhere around 7, 8 previous year questions with an official answer key with you. Try tweaking your strategy in between those. See where you are maximizing your total score. Okay. Personally speaking, if I was selective or attempting all the questions, my accuracy percentage did not fluctuate much. So for me, I personally went with the attempt all the questions route. Um, the second part of your question was that the answers are subjective in nature, which is very true. Okay. Uh, so the thing is, as you start attempting previous year question papers, you'll see a pattern in the thought process of what goes behind setting those questions. Once you crack that thought process, you're good to go. Animesh, does that answer?
Yeah, yeah, nice. Thank you.
Fair. Okay. Sahil, yep. Batao.
Yes, sir. Like you told, like the first school of thought, like one way is like attempting all the questions. So
Hmm.
basically, though I wanted to ask, like, does this go for all the other sections as well, like
No,
even
no, no,
quants and English, or only
no.
DM section?
Only DM. That was only particular to DM. Yeah, देखो, Sahil, with quants as well as logical reasoning and verbal, I feel like that accuracy will not remain constant. Okay. So that is something that you need to understand कि कहाँ पे जाके तुम्हारा peak बन रहा है. But uh, again, seeing from pattern of the people who I have mentored for the past 2 years approx, I've seen that accuracy is not a very big function of number of questions attempted for the DM section, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, got it.
Right. तो अगर मेरे साथ ऐसा होता था, if I attempted 10 questions, then also I got 50% right. If I went with 20 questions, then also I got somewhere around 47, 48% right. Right. I'm taking random numbers right now. So
Actually, that has different marking system also, no? So that's why, like, I've seen many people like recommending to attempt most of the questions in that.
यार वो unattempted का negative marking कितना ही है? right? It is
Point one.
again, that is also after 8 questions, right? If I'm right with my numbers. With DM especially, accuracy should not fluctuate way too much. With other sections, I've seen that fluctuating a lot. Yes, Priyal.
Hi, so my question is related to the passage. How
Hmm.
were we able to infer that there were some sort of biases?
Okay, if you read the fourth line, right, it talks about that faking illness made it difficult for JTF to judicially decide on promotion strategy. So that means that employees were faking illness. Fair.
Yeah, right.
Now, faking illness can be because of two things. First of all, either the employee is lying with proof, or secondly, the employee is lying and the supervisor is agreeing. So there is no standard SOP that has been set. This can be inferred.
Okay.
If someone is able to fake something, and again, there are multiple supervisors, so there's no standard procedure as to determining if the illness is genuine or not.
Right. Okay.
It was a theory that it can be a possibility there is some sort of favoritism. There cannot be also, but that was a guess. So there are two things. Even if the SOP is not set, and setting a SOP would be difficult task, centralizing it would make more sense, right? The second theory was key supervisor have some level of favoritism towards the employee. Then also centralizing it makes more sense, right?
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay, moving to the next question. If all the queries questions are done for this particular set. All right. I largely see two options, B and E. Someone who has not spoken till now, I would prefer to give your rationale behind the the option that you deem fit.
Hi Deepa and Vivek this side.
Hi, Vivek.
Uh,
Hello.
so I went with an option E because there are primarily two reasons. First thing is it talks both about the promotion as well as the leave wala part. So the second W, what is the issue argument? The issue here is selecting deserving and sincere employees. So both the things of leave and the promotion has been taken in account. And the E option would make the most error. The reason being the role of the supervisors, which was to like most likely to be right on deciding the promotion, is given to the CEO office, and the leave part, which was like could have been monitored more better in a better way with CEO office. This is something which might be completely opposite and would make a difficult situation to make a like would be very easy to make error. So that is what I think about.
Fair enough. Is there someone who disagrees to the explanation? Okay, I'll give you the right answer. It was option E itself. And Vivek, the explanation that you gave was spot on. Right? It tackles both the problems. It is the most prone for both the options, right? Um, I see option B also. Now, option B could have been a right answer, uh, considering that it talked about both the things, first of all. Second of all, getting a lawyer involved, I'm not very sure if it would increase the rate of error, right? Again, a lawyer would have a fixed set of rules, procedures to go along. It would be unbiased, of course, if you're getting someone externally, right? And the third thing is it does not tackle the main issue in hand, that was to decide on the promotions, right? Someone with a different thought. Okay, we'll move on to the next question. Again, take 90 odd seconds and try to come up with an answer. Yeah. I feel like this was on a slightly easier end. B. Okay, I have one A. Vivek, why A and why do you think this is the right answer?
I guess I chose A due to just one simple reason. Uh, why I just a minute. Okay, by A I mean that the only one wala.
Okay.
I chose option. Yeah, I got it. Got it. Option B from my side, but that one I hope you got it. Yeah.
Anybody has any questions? Of course, we have unanimous answer over here. Everybody went with option B. Right. So I don't feel like an explanation is required, but if anyone feels otherwise, feel free to.
So actually, I didn't got what the question was asking. In between.
Which part did you not get, Aniket?
About the question, what does it
Okay.
mean? Will employee find least ostracizing?
Okay, so the word ostracizing, you did not know the meaning, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So it means least ostracizing is basically the question is trying to say which one would be the most correct decision out of all these. Ostracizing in its pure way means provocating. I feel that is a word that is close to it, or rejecting an opinion, right? Or offending someone. Essentially, least offensive, or the opposite of it would be the most practical one.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Fair? Okay. So now you understand the question in hand and the correct answer, right?
Yeah.
Fair. Okay. We'll move on to the next question with the same set. Well, someone would like to explain. I see only C's, right? Yep.
Can I explain, sir?
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
So, sir, we can see first two options, one and two, are against each other. Okay. So, out of these two, I would choose second one, option number two, to be the better out of one and two, because listening to both the arguments separately will allow us take a judicial decision. I mean, judiciary decision, because if we listen to both the parties simultaneously, then it is going to be a mess, because one party will say something, then in order to counter that accusation, the another party is going to say something else that the party is not going to say, was not going to say in the first place. That is why together first will be ruled out. So going by that standard, we can eliminate A, B, D, and E as our options. So C states 2, 3, and 4 as most effective sequence for taking the right decision. So 2
Okay.
is selected.
Mhm.
3, involve a member of Women's Commission. So basically, a member of Women's Commission will be aware of the related laws and all the things that go along with the women's right, etc. And taking help of a retired judge will help the CEO at coming at a proper and judicial decision and unbiased decision. So C will the best option.
Okay. Jitendra, few questions for you. Okay. Statement 4 talks about take help of a retired judge.
Okay.
The questions that I have for you is it practical A to get a retired judge on board? Okay. The second question is a retired judge is not in a position, either legally or by the company. I mean, what is the credential of a retired judge? He or she is retired right now. They do not hold any position of law or power right now. The only thing is the background. Okay. The uh, the last argument I have for you is, let's say if you take a case in the court of law also, okay, over there also both of the parties are made to face each other,
Yes.
right? So how would you tackle these problems with the help of a retired judge?
So first we said that the judge is not in any power. We are not taking help of a retired judge to take help of his power. We are taking help of a retired judge in order to take help from his experience,
Won't
because
a
he has
lawyer make more
experience.
sense? No, no, won't a lawyer make more sense in this case? Think about it. Retired है, ठीक है? Let's say you are owning a company. In what rationale would you call a retired judge?
Retired
What?
judge, first of all, there is a difference between a lawyer and a judge, that I would say, because a lawyer can be good at presenting an argument, but taking judicial decisions, it is always best if done by a judge.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay. Uh, See, the problem is a judge holds the power in just the court, right?
Yes.
Okay. So getting that position out of court, does it make sense? Think about it for 10 seconds.
So, yes, he does hold power in court, and he
Hmm.
does not hold any power after being retired. That's true. But
Not
we
just
are,
after being retired, also in a private company also. You are a
yes,
private
that's true.
company, right? Hmm. So
He
how
does
would
not have
you
any.
right? How would you convince your board that a retired judge should practicality वाला point आ जाता है अब समझ रहे हो?
Mhm.
Let's say in real life also, think about it. Would it be practical, or have you seen any case where a company calls a retired judge?
There are many cases,
Hmm.
I mean, where an arbiter is selected when the parties want to mutually decide on some matter. When
An
there's a
arbiter
conflict,
is a lawyer, not a judge, right?
yes, but a retired judge can also be considered as an arbiter when the
They
parties
can be
don't want to go to
considered,
the court.
but the point of calling an arbiter is someone who holds a bar license. They are not called because they are a judge. They are called because they know the law,
Yes.
right? So उसके पीछे भी जो rational होता है बुलाने का, that is just because they hold a bar license or have the knowledge of law, not because they are a judge,
Okay.
right? Kirti, good point. Why only women's commission, right? It can be harassment against anyone.
Okay, let's suppose that
Mhm. अच्छा हाँ, again your argument at the first place was कि two and one are countering each other. Fair. But let's take a real life case. क्या होता है, पहले स्टेटमेंट साइलो में लिखी जाती है, राइट? बी इट द कंपनी और द पुलिस और एनीवन इन्वॉल्व, पहले साइलो में लिखा जाता है। अगर केस कोर्ट में जाता भी है या फिर अगर लेट्स से जज आता भी है, तो बोथ ऑफ द अक्यूज्ड विल बी प्रेजेंट देयर टुगेदर।
yes.
So the convention is to do first, second, and then the first statement, right?
Mhm.
So you can't directly eliminate options which have two statement two and statement one together.
Yes, that's right.
That's right. So again, the question in hand is asking us what would be the correct sequence, right? So you can do both of the statements, statement one and statement two together. Anyone else has a different opinion? Or Jitendra, even you can counter me. It's all right.
Uh, Now that you have mentioned it, I believe 215 can also be a good option.
Is anyone else convinced that 215 can be a good option? Yep, go ahead. I'll tell you the right answer. Were you agreeing with me or did you have a question, Kirti? The answer was 215, right? Okay, fair. Yep, go ahead, Priyal.
Sir, my concern is how is hiring a forensic expert a feasible decision economically as well as energy wise?
Okay, so sequence के बारे में बात करी गई है, right? Uh, two statement two we have done, statement one we have done. Uh, if still the company has not able to come to a consensus, the usual procedure again, if you go to the code of law also, uh, there will be a forensic team that is involved. It is not very feasible. It is not uh, uh, economically feasible also, as you stated, but it is something that is practically done, right? So again, think about this. अगर let's say कोई option होता where fifth came a little ahead of one or two, I would not have gone with that option just because it is not the most feasible. But it is not like it's not feasible altogether. It is done. It is a common practice. By forensics, they do not mean the criminal forensics team, right? There are cyber forensic team also who validate things like phone calls, chats, right? There are people who validate CCTV records, digital record footprints, etc. So that is why. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Everybody agrees with option E. Can we move on to the next question?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is the last question for the night. Um, Same set again, same case. Again, somewhat of a set on the easier side, I would say, right? Um, 1, 2, 3. I don't see any other option other than B, apart from B, till now. Um, the correct answer is B, of course. Anybody who would like to discuss this particular question? Uh, I feel it's pretty self-explanatory in itself, right? Fair. Okay. Um, I hope the session was insightful, guys. If any of you have any further questions, I'll keep the floor open for the next 4 or 5 odd minutes. I've dropped my LinkedIn as well. If any of you want to connect with me, any random questions, or if you just want to have a chat, it's open, right? Prashant sir, anything you would like to add if you're there?
No, no, I'm here. So thanks, Dipan, for your time. So for the people who have like spent 1 hour, they will be. I hope they have learned something. And this is the food of thought for me, right? And and most of the coaching will only get the recorded sessions or just the PYQ, right? Even when I was preparing, so I was part of the coaching. We were just given a 5 mocks, and you need to just solve those. That's it. No discussion, nothing has happened. But
Right.
here you getting the time to spend like discuss these all these questions, right? And frankly speaking, the second like this is the second year I am just sitting through in these sessions and seeing like hearing not complete session we like honest, but yes, few things at least I'm getting from here because like when I was preparing 7 8 years back for that I haven't got any feedback from any of the mentors. So good to see you. Make the best use of it. We may have like 2 more sessions after this based on the availability, right?
All right. Same here. I hope